Now I'm going to touch on a sports topic before I, what I'm saying, get this boy arrested or whatever. The sports topic I want to touch on is it's basketball related, of course, but but not of course. I like the three major sports equally. Probably baseball would probably be my favorite, but this is on basketball, and it's the question, not the question, but what I'm going to discuss is Michael Jordan the greatest basketball player ever? Now, me being from Chicago, all my 37 years, born and raised right here in Chicago, have never been a Bulls fan. I've always been a Lakers fan from the day I can remember because I was a Magic Johnson fan. I felt Magic, you know what I'm saying. I thought Magic Johnson was the greatest. You know what I'm saying. When I was young, 8 years old, whatever, I thought he actually did tricks on the court. But I was a kid, whatever. But so I've always been a Lakers fan. It's not nothing fly by night with me, and I've been a Lakers fan for as long as I've been a basketball fan, and that's chiefly because of Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? From it just carried over to now. But I say Michael Jordan. I seen at least 85% of the games that he played with the Bulls. 85, 90%. I saw him, and to me, what I always say is when you look at the criteria of what makes somebody the greatest of their individual sport or individual field, you have to what's the criteria? And you look at championships. Everybody puts such a big emphasis on championships, on winning championships. Okay, would he be? I mean, Bill Russell won 11. You see what I'm saying? Bill Russell won 11. I mean, Kareem won 6, just as many as he did, and Kareem participated in what 9 or something. I mean, so you can't say he's the greatest winner ever because Bill Russell won 11. I know the NBA was different back then, but you have to look at it. Bill Russell went head to head with Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West. I mean, when you make a top 10 list, those guys are definitely top 10 players. You know what I'm saying? He went to head with those kind of guys, whereas Jordan won championships. And I'm not slighting these guys. These guys are all top 15, 20 players in my eyes. But Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, you know what I'm saying, and Clyde Drexler, they're all great players, Hall of Fame players, no doubt. But they're not Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West type guys. You see what I'm saying? Scoring, okay, yeah, his scoring average is the highest, you know what I'm saying, ever per game. But that's only because Wilt in his later career he changed his whole game around where he was just trying to win championships. Wilt averaged 50 points in one season. Period. Wilt went against Bill Russell and dominated him statistically, and Bill Russell is considered the greatest defensive basketball player of all time. And when you can drop 40 and get 30 rebounds on him, you know what I'm saying? So you can't even state statistically. So then I always ask, I'm like, so what made him the greatest? It's like when when ESPN did their top 50 athletes of the century, and he won, and then I said, well, I felt like maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe Babe Ruth could have won. People are like, why you say that? I say because one thing that Babe Ruth did is he revolutionized his sport. Babe Ruth changed the way that baseball has been played after him. You know what I'm saying? Baseball was considered dead ball. You know what I'm saying? What you did is you got on and you stole a base, you advanced the runner, you did this, you did that. Well, Babe Ruth, you know what I'm saying, said why do all that? Let me hit a homer, and now you know what I'm saying. He changed the game forever. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan was uber athletic. Let's not get it wrong. Let's not get it twisted. But was he any different athletically than say like David Thompson or Dr. J or Elgin Baylor or whoever was before him? You can't really say that. You know what I'm saying? Is he any more? Is he any greater of an athlete than Kobe Bryant? Can't say that. And you know, Jerry West scored a lot of points too, but Jerry West didn't have a 3-point line. You know, Jerry West scoring 30 has some 30-point years too. With a 3-point line, who knows what he could have did. So I just feel like when you say the greatest basketball player ever, you have to take all things into consideration. I look at somebody like Magic Johnson. Will there ever be another player like Magic Johnson? A 6'9" point guard? You know what I'm saying? He's a six. I mean, somebody who can play every position on the court and would have been a Hall of Famer at any of them. We're not talking about somebody who would have played any of them and didn't play them well. Magic would have been a Hall of Famer at any 5 of them. You're more likely to find another player that can emulate Michael Jordan, say Kobe Bryant, than somebody who can emulate Magic Johnson. I just think when you so what makes Mike the best? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean he caught Magic. He beat Magic in the championship. But that was in Magic's later years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not knocking Jordan. You want to say he's the greatest, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm based on what criteria would make him the greatest. So you're telling me, say if Kobe wins 2 more rings, just say he does, he wins 2 more rings, maybe even 3. He maybe say he wins 3 rings. Would he be then considered the greatest basketball player ever? What would the criteria be based on? I think a lot of times we get so fascinated with the new that we forget that the game was played before Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about who's the greatest basketball player ever, let's think back then forward instead of thinking forward. You know what I'm saying? Then back, because I mean, because to me it's a slap in the face of somebody like Bill Russell or Oscar Robertson, who averaged a triple double in the season. You know what I'm saying? Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. I mean, it's just to me it's just a knock on those guys. What you think Jordan is the best? I won't argue with you, because like I said, I seen the man play. Like 90% of his games in Chicago, I seen him on TV or whatever. I even seen him a couple times in person. But I don't know. Let me know, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Like I said, leave me a comment, positive, negative, agreement, disagreement, or not. But to me, I'm always gonna say I feel like Magic would probably be considered the best, because he's the only person in NBA history that could play for all 5 positions. You know what I'm saying? And would be an all-star at all 5 of them. But once again, Big Zizzo signing off. Peace.